Congressman, welcome. We have a 6-minute speed dating round. I'm not going to ask you on a second date, so don't fret. I'm going to ask you a question that I asked Congressman Molinar. Is the bipartisan consensus on China on Capitol Hill dead or in limbo or something else?
No, I think it's still strong. I think that, interestingly, I think the bipartisan consensus on Capitol Hill is strong, but it might not match exactly what all the sentiments are coming out of the White House. And I think one place where we are concerned is, making concessions, for instance, to the CCP that could weaken our deterrence economically or militarily, and that could have far-reaching consequences.
When Joe Biden met Xi Jinping in San Francisco, and before that in Bali, Republicans said it was zombie diplomacy. What have we got now?
I'm not sure what you call this. It's definitely shoot from the hip diplomacy. I think that I'm a little concerned about this coming April summit. If the groundwork is not laid for a successful summit, you could end up with agreements that could really compromise our ability to defend ourselves economically.
Now, obviously, it's hard for a party in Congress whose president is in the White House to criticize that president on both sides. I'm not naive, but
I don't have that problem.
Really?
Go ahead.
How is it more difficult for you and Congressman Molinar to do bipartisan things on China, given the environment we're in right now?
Not necessarily. I think that there are enough areas where, I think we're still in alignment with the White House, that we can kind of work on these issues and see them, become law. I mean, two good examples are biosecure, which are in the NDAA. We're voting on it today and in an hour. And then outbound investments and restrictions on outbound investments. I think those are two areas among many where I think we can still work together with the White House.
Quick question on allies, a slightly different version of something I asked Congressman Molinar. President Trump has talked about a G2 between the US and China. That's something that allies, particularly in the Indo-Pacific, do not like. What kind of conversations are you having with US allies about that and more broadly, how they should be dealing with the Trump administration?
I think there's deep concern about that kind of a view of the world, in part because I think you're also seeding some of the issues and the way that China sees itself in the region. Somehow it has a sphere of influence with regard to the Indo-Pacific region, which it's always thought it had. And so this G2 conception is deeply worrisome for a lot of our friends, partners, and allies, although they might not say it publicly the way that I am right now.
On rare earths, Congressman Molinar said in some ways what China did will backfire in the long run. It's kind of a Sputnik moment. The US and its allies have realized this is a stranglehold, and they finally need to do something about it. So in the long term, it may be a Sputnik moment. Do you think in the short term it constrains America's ability to take tough actions against China on a whole range of things and not just export controls?
Yeah, I think it's a sputtering moment right now. Because what happens is when you expose your weakness so quickly, even as you're launching this quote-unquote trade war, basically they know exactly how to take advantage of their leverage, right? We should not have entered into Liberation Day and everything that happened after that not having prepared ourselves on the critical materials front. We knew for the longest time what we had to do, and yet we didn't do it. And instead now we're kind of in a situation where they're able to exert tremendous leverage over us.
You have, at the committee, in recent years, including this year, have sent a bunch of letters to American companies, banks, CEOs, asking them to...
We have a lot of pen pals.
You have a lot of pen pals. How often do they write back?
You'll be surprised. A lot of them respond right away in one way, shape, or form. I think that a lot of people want to come to us kind of without having us to write them in the first place because they want to explain what's going on. A lot of times it's off the record or confidential or whatever. But I think that there's a pretty strong dialogue on a lot of these issues.
Can you imagine a day where CEOs are asked to testify in public about what they're doing in China or Hong Kong?
Yes.
Is that when you become chair of the committee of the Democrats win next year, or when is that going to happen?
Do you have another question?
No.
I don't
said
know.
to Congressman Mulliner he has to assume he's not running for re-election. I'm going to give you the same condition.
Well, I'm actually I'm on a side hustle where I'm running for another office right now, and so I one way or another I'm not going to be here.
Understood. Well, I look forward to meeting you when the result of the side hustle comes in. But we are sadly out of time, and I will not ask you for a second date. So thank you.
Thank you.